Hi guys, welcome to the Little Visa Boy. Have you been waiting ages for your visa? Well, for the past 2 years, the processing time for Australian visas has been steadily but surely becoming longer and longer across the entire system. And the main reason for such delay is due to the following events. The beginning of the pandemic started in December 2019, but it wasn't until late January 2020 when Australia received its first cases and eventually closed its borders and imposed lockdowns in March 2020. This led to a decrease in flights into and out of Australia. And because of this decrease, the industries such as tourism, hospitality and retail has all declined. With the decline in business activities, the employers has no choice but to decrease business hours or cut personnel within the business, which in turn decreased employment rates. What this meant was that less people are needed for jobs and eventually less visas are needed to be processed. And with the decrease in visa activities, the Department of Immigration has cut funding for the department and retrenched a lot of positions within the department. This was fine for the past 2 years, but as soon as the border opens in March 2022, people start coming back in. For example, international students, people who want to reunite with their families, and work visas. As businesses begins to recover, the need for skilled migrants has also picked up again. However, this sudden surge of people who wants to come back in suddenly outpaced the number of people who can process the visas in a short periods of time, because the Department of Immigration couldn't hire back these people faster. This resulted in a massive pileup of visa applications with not many people processing them, hence increases in wait time. So today we're going to share some tips and tricks for you to consider and hopefully get ahead in your application for a faster visa process and smoother transition. And for this video, we're going to be focusing on work visas. So first, I'll let you on a little secret. Department of Home Affairs processes thousands of applications every single day, but they do prioritize your applications based on several criteria which I'll go through, because they don't process your applications on a first in, first served basis. So what are these criteria that can put you ahead of everyone else? And these are the type of occupation you're being sponsored under, the location of the employment, and the type of employer that is sponsoring you. So if you intend to reduce the waiting time on your application, we must tackle each of these 3 criteria separately. First is the type of occupation that you're being sponsored under. The Department of Immigration and the Department of Education, Skills and Employment has come together and made a list of occupations which are deemed more important than either the recovery of the Australian economy or lacking in the region. So what are these list of occupations? It goes a little like this. PMOL or Priority Occupation List are occupations which are deemed most crucial for the recovery of the Australian economy. These are usually STEM occupations, or that is science, technology, engineering and mathematics. The second on our list is called MLT-SSL or Medium Long-Term Skilled Occupation List, which are mostly consist of skill level 1 and skill level 2 occupants, whom are mostly professionals like lawyers, doctors and nurses, or mostly with people with a bachelor degree. The third on our list is called STSOL or Short Term Skilled Occupation List, which are for people with a lower skill level, or essentially with people who has a certificate 4 or above. And one more list of occupations which is outside this hierarchy is called ROL or Regional Occupation List, which we will not go through today. The second criteria which we have to look at is the location of the employment, where generally speaking, if your job is in the region Australia, they tend to be processed sooner or faster than metropolitan areas. But just keep in mind, it is really dependent on the visa class that you're applying for as well, so you should consult a licensed migration agent on this. Third and lastly is the type of employer that is sponsoring you. The Department of Immigration generally tends to prioritize your application by the type of employer that is sponsoring you, because there are different types. And just like the occupation list, there are certain employers that the department deemed more favorable and compared to others. The employers which are deemed more favorable are accredited sponsors, sponsors with labor agreement, and other sponsors which are more niche in terms of its operations or the type of industry they possess. All this information which I've outlined are good and all, but how does it work in practice? So let us go through a case study. Recently, we have a girl who came to us looking for a job and hopefully a sponsor who can give her a visa. We then assessed her qualifications and work experiences to see which occupation list she fits into. Once we have confirmed her occupation, we then begin the search for an employer in our database that fits into her occupation. And because we have a few employers on our hands which fits into her occupation, we prioritize the employers in accordance to the criteria that we mentioned before. We usually set up an interview between the employer and the person who's looking for the job in order to make sure that both parties are happy with each other. And once they are, we begin the visa process by collecting all the necessary documentations and lodging all documents in the time of application. And because we provided all documents in one go, it reduces the time it takes for the case officer to come back to us and ask for more documentations, hence cutting the processing time even further. So, by following these selection criteria, it greatly increases your chance to become the first in line when they process your visa. So, there you have it. If you like this video, please like and subscribe. And if you have any topics about migrating or working in Australia, please feel free to leave comments below. See you next time.